Hey guys, it's Kelly from FitnessBlender.com, and today I have a butt and thigh workout for you for people with short attention spans. So what I've done here is I have 4 different groups of 6 different exercises. We're going to be doing not a single repeat exercise through this whole different routine. So 24 different exercises. All you need for this is a set of dumbbells, and even if you don't have those, you can still get in a great workout. I've included both your warm-up and your cool-down, so let's go ahead and get started. Alright, we're starting off with the cardio warm-ups. We're going to be doing 30 seconds of each of these exercises, nice and light to start off. We're just getting warmed up. We're going to start with the boxer shuffle. So just get your feet moving. If you want to keep this low impact, you can just kind of march in place nice and slow or as fast as you need to. Just keep moving a little bit, and like I said, I'll show you all throughout this routine how to cut out the jumps if you need to keep it low impact. This isn't really a beginner routine though, so if you're looking for one of those, you're going to want to check out one of our other videos. This one's going to be pretty tough. Alright, so keep your lungs open this whole time. Keep nice posture, standing up nice and tall, nice and light on your feet. Next up, we're going to be doing butt kickers. So this is going to stretch out the front of our thighs a little bit. So you can start low impact like this, moving nice and slow, just kicking yourself in the butt. Or you can step it up, so you're kind of jogging in place, kind of with an exaggerated butt kick. Okay, so keep it going. Next up, we're going to be doing up and overs from side to side. My ponytail is already quitting on me. It's giving up. 1 minute in. It's not a good sign. So go down, up, and over. Get that upper body in there too. And then tap that other foot. So you can make this harder by speeding it up. This is the low impact version, but you can also kind of leap across if you've got the room and the energy. Next up, we're going to do a deadlift motion. No weight, just warming up that range of motion. So standing up nice and tall, come down to your toes, keep that back flat, come back up. Keep your belly pulled in, squeeze those glutes, even during the warm-up. Alright, next up we're doing front kicks. So nice and tall, kick, we'll go ahead and alternate sides. So try not to throw your foot up there, try to keep in control. If you can only go a little ways, that's totally fine, just do what you can. Alright, next up we're going to have a squat plus a knee. So again, we're mimicking those motions we're going to do in our actual workout. So feet shoulder width apart, sink down, then come up with the knee. Keep your back flat, your weight in your heels. You can move as slow or as quick as you need to, just focus on form as you go. Right, next up we're doing alternating lunges. So just coming forward, dropping down between those 2 feet. Switch sides with each rep. And just one more group after this. Alright, here's our last one. We're doing side lunges, so a wide stance, and you're just sinking from one side, keep that other leg straight. So, if you've been sitting at a desk for a long time, or sedentary for a while, you might want to do a little bit longer warm-up. Otherwise, this should be good to jump in to that strength training. There's never any harm in doing extra warm-up though. Alright, and that's it. So keep your feet moving. I'm going to move right into that strength workout. So we're starting off with squats. And I'm going to be using 16 pounds per hand for this. So I'm going to tell you what I'm lifting, but it's in no way a recommendation of what you should lift. Lifting heavy is completely relative to your own strength. So Choose a weight. We're going to be doing 10 repetitions, so choose a weight that makes those last reps really hard to do without letting your form suffer. So pop those weights up there. So again, feet shoulder width apart. And we're initiating that movement at the hips, so sink back. Nice and slow, and press back up. Inhale on the way down. Exhale as you press back up. Remember to keep your weight in your heels. And stick your butt out behind you before you drop. There's 5. Make sure to pick a wall, place on the wall in front of you to make sure you're not rounding your shoulders. 2 more. All right, so that's it for those. So these are pretty quick supersets. We're taking very little rest in between, so if you need a longer rest, go ahead and hit pause. Just keep your feet moving. Never stop moving in between sets. Otherwise, next up we're going to be doing deadlifts. So I'm going to pick 24 pounds per hand for this one. All right, pick up your weights. All right, again, feet shoulder width apart, weights in front of your thighs. Keep your back nice and flat, and you're coming down, slow and controlled, as low as you can control, then come back up. Squeeze your glutes, holding your core. So a good breathing pattern is to breathe in on the way down, and exhale as you come back up. Keep those weights nice and close to your thighs. And here's number 6. Three more. Keep just a slight bend in your knees. Don't walk them out completely. And here's our last one. All right, so I'm going to drop the weights. So next I'm going to do a reverse lunge. I'm going to use 12 pounds per hand for this one. And all right, so take a quick breath. Catch your breath if you need to. Shake out your muscles. Otherwise, we're going to be doing 20 reps total, so 10 on each side. So we're not cutting any corners here. We're doing that reverse lunge. So again, nice and tall, weights at your sides, sinking back, drop down between your 2 feet, and come back up. I have the sniffles because it's like 55 degrees in here. It's freezing. So sorry about that. There's 8. Here's our halfway point. So if at any point your form starts to suffer, go ahead and drop those weights. Keep moving if you can. Otherwise, there's nothing wrong with taking a quick break. Two more on each side. Last one's right here. And one more. Okay, so next up, we're doing the plyo group. So this entails 10 jump squats. So take a quick breath. Gather yourself. And I want you to push hard, jump up as hard as you can. So here we go, 10 reps. Land soft. There's 5. Last one. All right, so that's that. So next up is our Pilates group. So we're going to drop down to the floor. We're going to do a reverse lift. So down on all fours, you can go here, But for even more range of motion, come down to your forearms. So we're going to take that leg with a slight bend. You're going to curl in and then press out. Tuck it back in, but don't rest it. That's 1 repetition. Here's halfway already. Three more. So 2 more, and then we're going to go to pulses. All right, so keep your leg up there, bend at the knee. I'm going to do short pulses for 20. There's 10. And 20. All right, so let it relax really quickly. We're going to repeat that on the opposite side of the body. All right, here we go. Drop back down. Extend that leg as much as you can. No swinging during this entire exercise. You have to do it very deliberately if you want it to work. You can always add ankle weights to this if you want to make it even more challenging. Three more. All right, so this is our one with the pulses. So get that leg up there, bend at the knee, and poke a hole in the ceiling. Here's halfway. All right, and that's it. All right, so next up we're up to that group of lifts. So we're gonna be doing side leg lifts. So standing is gonna work your core really well. So again, you wanna make sure that you're not swinging your leg, that you're in control of this motion the entire time. If you have poor balance, feel free to hold on to something for a little extra support. So otherwise, standing up nice and tall, lifting that leg up. This is a lot harder once you've been working a little bit. You're kind of, the balance kind of goes wiry, a little wacky. So do your best, control it. Like I said, you're gonna feel this in your core as well. Ooh, falling over. All right, 2 more. And last one, slowly lower the back down. All right, so we're gonna repeat that on the opposite side. All right, here we go. Nice and tall, lift. Like I said, don't throw it. Control it on the way up, control it on the way down. A lot of people do this kind of thing and that doesn't count, it doesn't work as well. No cheating. Here's number 5 right there, we're halfway. Three more. Here's our last one. All right, so that is it. We have our warm-up and group 1 down. We have 3 more groups to go. So grab a quick drink of water, don't go way too far, don't stop moving, and we'll jump right back into it. All right, for our first exercise back in, for that squat group, we're going to be doing a sumo squat or a wide stance squat. So I'm going to use 16 pounds per hand for this one. Otherwise, you're standing with your feet nice and wide. Pop those weights up to your shoulders. And you're doing all the same rules as a basic squat, so keep your back flat. Initiate with those hips swinging back, and keep your weight in your toes. Make sure you're not holding your breath. Here's our halfway point right here. Three more. Last one right here. All right, that's it for the squat and the round 2. Next up, we're doing the deadlift group. So we're gonna do a deadlift with our toes inward. So I'm gonna use 24 pounds for this one. If you've never done this version of a deadlift before, you might wanna lift a little bit lighter the first time around. It does use the muscles in a different way and you will feel it. So I'm gonna stand with our feet, actually I'll turn towards you. We're gonna stand with our feet pigeon-toed, turned in. And then again, all the same rules as the deadlift. You're keeping your waist in front of your thighs, dropping down nice and slow. Keep your back flat, pull back up. There's 2. Keep a slight bend in your knees. Don't let your shoulders round forward, even at the bottom of the motion. That's halfway. All right, 3 more. So if it doesn't feel hard, by this point, you need to lift a heavier weight or check your form. First, check your form, then bump up the amount of weight that you're lifting. Here's our last one. All right, go drop those weights. Next up, we've got our lunge category. I'm gonna be doing curtsy lunges for this one. So I'm gonna use 12 pounds per hand. Shake out your muscles. Take a quick break if you need to. Otherwise, grab those weights. And here we go. So we're gonna be stepping back and behind, back and across our body. So take one foot, step behind yourself, dip down into that lunge. Stand up nice and tall. We're alternating back and forth. So remember, you can drop the weights completely. Even with just body weight, this is still a really good workout. Here's our halfway point. So 5 more on each side. Three more on each side. If you're starting to feel a little wobbly, you can take a break or drop those weights. So if you aren't huffing and puffing, again, increase the amount of weight you're lifting or check your form. All right, I think we have 1 more on each side. Last one. All right, so drop those weights. So this time we're on to that plyo group again. We're gonna be doing lateral jumps. So aside from being really good at burning calories and fat, you're also gonna be using your legs and specifically the outside of your legs. So take a deep breath. And here we go. So you're jumping from side to side. If you can, don't rest your foot behind you. If you want to make this low impact, just stay here. You can even do a lunge on either side. Otherwise, here's 3. Here's halfway. Two more. All right, so that's it for the plyo group. Just a quick taste of cardio there. Now we're gonna drop down into that next Pilates group, which is gonna be a weighted bridge. So I'm gonna use 24 pounds, just one weight. And I'm gonna drop down and lay flat on your back, with your weights across your hips here. So all the same rules as a bridge, but you're gonna be pressing up, keep your feet in close to your butt. And you're pressing up, get those hips up off of the ground, then drop back down, nice and slow. Here's number 5. 4 more. Here's our last one. And slowly lower back down. Take your time. So let those muscles burn and let it relax. All right. So next up we have our lift group. So we're gonna be lifting out in front of our body this time. So again, we're not doing, if you can, do it with just your balance, but if you need to, you can hold on to something as well. You're standing up nice and tall, and then slow and controlled, you're coming up, and then slowly back down. And your body's gonna wanna cheat, so try your hardest to keep it nice and slow. Here's 5. 2 more. Suck in that core, squeeze those core muscles. And that's our last one. All right, so now we're gonna do that on the opposite side of the body. Shake out your muscles if you need to. Otherwise, here we go, 10 repetitions. Whew. This is a good way to find out which side of your body you have worse balance on. There's 6. 2 more. And here's our last one. All right, so that is the end of group 2. We're gonna move right on to group 3. We're halfway through the strength portion already. So next up, we're gonna be doing that squat portion again. And for this one, we're gonna be doing a stagger squat. So this is kind of fun. So I'm not gonna use any extra weight for this. You're more than welcome to hold on to one weight, probably just right here at your chest. Otherwise, you're staggering your feet. So put one foot in front of the other, and this is kind of hard on balance again too. So you're squatting like this. So again, all the same regular rules. You keep your back flat, you start at the hips, but you have your feet staggered so that the one behind the other is doing a lot more work. So it's basically like an assisted single leg squat. Woo. There we go. Again, you can hold on to something for balance if you need to. Try to rely on your core strength, but if you're wobbling really badly, it's okay to hold on to something. All right, 3 more. Squeeze those glutes. All right, here's our last one. Ooh. And come back up. All right, so now we're gonna repeat that on the opposite side. So whichever leg was in front last time, you're switching positions, so the opposite is forward. So take a deep breath, gather yourself, and get right into it. Squeeze, especially on the way up. There's 4. Especially if you're holding on to weights while you're doing this. Probably getting some shaky muscles by now. That's good. 3 more. All right, here's our last one. All right, so that is it for the squat group in that one. Next up, we're moving on to the deadlift group, and this time we're gonna be doing our toes out. So I'm gonna lift a little bit lighter than I did the last time. I'm gonna go for 20 pounds per hand. All right, otherwise, stand with your toes pointed outward, weights in front of your thighs, nice and tall. Sink down nice and slow, and squeeze on your way up. Inhale on the way down, exhale on the way up. All right, here's 5 already. Here's number 7. So once you have the hang of all the form and you understand how the routine's moving along, feel free to drown me out with music. I know I love to listen to music while I work out. It's a lot more motivating than silence. All right, here's our next one. All right, there's 10. So next up, we are doing a double pulse lunge. So I'm going to use 12 pounds per hand for this one. And we're doing a basic lunge forward, alternating. And we're doing a double pulse though at the part where the legs are working the most. So here we go. I'm going to step out in front of your body, drop down, and do a double pulse right here. Nice and slow, nice and smooth, no jerking, no bouncing. Make sure you're doing it really controlled. All right, here's number 6. All right, after this one, we are at the halfway point. So hang with me as long as you can. If you need to, you can drop your weights. Try to keep going as long as you can. Here's 14. We have 3 more on each side. And I'm going to drop my weights. I'm starting to get a little wobbly there. It's okay. I'm still moving. So 2 more on each side. All right, here's our last one on each side. All right. Can't say that I'm mad that's over. But next up, we have a power skip. So this is our plyometric portion again. So we're going to do 10 on each side of the body. Again, we're only doing 10, so I want you to push as hard as you can. Use explosive motions. Otherwise, here we go. So you're tapping back and then exploding upwards. 5. And here's 10. Whew, I guess the explosive you can get is after that kind of exercise, you know? So if you want to do a low impact version, just go back and knee up. Back and knee up. Otherwise, I'm going to do it on the opposite side of the body. So here we go, 10 more. 7, 8, 9. Here's our last one. All right. Okay, next up, we are dropping down for that Pilates portion. We're doing side leg raises. So, drop down the floor. So, you're laying out on your side. You can extend this leg or bend it in. Otherwise, you've got your toe out and pointed. You're coming up and slowly lowering it back down. Again, no throwing your leg. Control it the entire time. There's number 5. So you should feel this in your outside thigh, especially. All right, here's our last rep. So when we come back down, we're gonna find that middle range. Don't let your leg rest. And do 20 short pulses. You see my legs shaking? 12, 13, 14, 19, and 20. All right, let it rest. Now we're gonna repeat that on the opposite side of the body. So, sliding out here, get comfortable. All right, point that toe, and we're coming up. Here's 7. 2 more. It's our last regular repetition. Come down right here. Don't let that leg rest. We're doing 20 pulses. There's 10, 11, 12, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Ooh, boy, that burns. It feels good, kind of, feels good. But okay, next up we have our last group of lifts, and this is gonna be a downward dog lift. So we're pressing up into downward dog. And if you have trouble being inverted, just stay right here and do a regular lift. Otherwise, press up into that downward dog, and you're taking one foot and coming up as far as you can into a split. So this is working those muscles, but it also feels pretty good as a stretch. Two more. It's our last one. All right, come back down for just a second and repeat that on the opposite side of the body, and we will officially be done with our third group. So we have just one more after this. All right, so pop up into that downward dog and start in on that other side. Just take your time here, there's no rush. Work that full range of motion. There's halfway. Three more. And last one. And let it relax. All right, so like I said, we have just one more group after this. Grab a quick drink of water if you need to, and we will finish up in just a second. All right, so this is our very last group. We have 6 more exercises left, and then we'll move into a very well-deserved cool down and stretch. So our first exercise is going to be a ski squat, so a narrow stance squat. So I'm gonna be doing just body weight for this one. Otherwise, we are standing nice and close together. So grab your weights, you're holding them right here or right here in the middle of your chest if you like, and you're sinking down and then press back up. So back flat, weight in your heels, so your toes are nice and light on the ground. That's a good way to make sure you're feeling it in your glutes instead of just your thighs. But you should feel it in your thighs too. Here's halfway. Three more. Here's our last one. All right, so shake those legs out. Next up, we have our deadlift category, and we're gonna do a wide stance deadlift. So I'm gonna use 20 pounds per hand for this one. And stand with your feet nice and wide, but still a slight bend in your knees. Coming down, nice and slow. Try to keep the same pace on the way up as the way down. There's 4. Here's number 6. So I want to hear what you guys thought about this workout structure. So when you're done, leave me feedback about what you thought about this with all the different kinds of exercises in one routine. Kind of helps prevent boredom, really mixes it up, and you get to target those muscles from a lot of different angles. But I want to hear from you. Here's our last one. All right, now we have that last lunge category, and for this one we're gonna be doing a side lunge. So I'm gonna use 12 pounds per hand. All right, so I'm gonna hold my weights right here, but again, standing nice and wide. You're gonna keep one leg straight and bend the knee of that other one. Go down as low as you can control, and press back up to the center. We'll do 10 on each side for this. Keep your back flat. Here's 10. 5 more on each side. Try not to let your shoulders round. You want to keep a nice flat back. Just stick your chest out, even as you're going down on each side. Two more on each side. All right, last one on each side. All right, so we're back to that plyo group. And for this one, we have pop squats. So shake out your muscles. Take a nice deep breath. And here we go, 10 repetitions. So drop down and jump back up. That's 1 repetition. 2, 3, 4. Here's 8, 9, and 10. All right, so at least they're over quick, right? So next up, we're doing that Pilates group. So we're gonna drop down to the ground for a back bow. So laying flat out on your stomach. Arms outstretched for the hardest level, otherwise you can bring them in to make it easier. So we're lifting up, legs and arms off of the ground, and slowly lower back down. So you should feel this in your glutes, your thighs, your back, and even your upper body. Three more. All right, that's it for that. So this is our last group, and this is the lift group. So we're gonna do a sumo squat plus a round kick. So we're doing a lift in kind of a circular motion. So again, this is a challenge on the balance and good for the core, so hold on to something if you need to. Otherwise, nice and wide stance. You're going down to a squat, and then immediately lift that leg up and over for a high kick. And if your kick isn't that high right now, don't worry about it. Just do the best you can. Here's 6, so we're gonna do 20, so 10 on each side. Here's our halfway point. Here's 14, 3 more on each side. One more on each side. It's our last one. All right, and that's the last exercise of this routine. So we're officially cooling down now. So just kind of shake out your muscles. Slow your breathing and your heart rate. Kind of move loosely through any place that's tight. All right, now we're gonna plant your feet and then take a deep breath. Stretch your hands out overhead. Lean to each side. Once here. Slowly over to the other side. Now come back to the center. Stretch your fingers out, really exaggerate it. Come all the way down and touch your toes. So just stay here for a second. You can get in an upper body stretch if you want to clasp your hands behind your back. Kind of deepen that stretch in the back of the thighs as well. All right, now we're gonna slide to the side a little and sink down. I'm gonna stretch that inside thigh. All right, now push up and slowly walk your way over. I'm gonna repeat that motion on the opposite side, so nice and slow. Sink down so you're stretching that opposite inside thigh. All right, walk back to the middle again. Stay here for just a second. Push down as far as you can without any bouncing and without any pain at all. Kind of wiggle back and forth. Then slowly roll back up. So next up, we're gonna stretch the front of our thighs. So grab that foot, otherwise pull it up to your butt. If you can hold on to something for balance. At this point, you might be a little wobbly. Those muscles are spent. You can get a chest stretch out of this too. If you stick your chest out a little, pull your arms back. All right, go ahead and switch sides. There is a wall here. Not many people know that. I'm not actually floating in space. So make sure you're getting a nice stretch through that quad right there. We'll stretch our hip flexors in just a second. All right, drop that leg. We're gonna walk down into a downward dog. So nice and slow, walk out, and we're going to push our heels down, or push your heels down as if you're trying to reach the ground. And even if you can't, that's okay. Try to push your head in between your hands. You can kind of walk back and forth with your feet. Get a little bit of a calf stretch in there as well on that leg that's straightened. All right, I'm gonna take one leg, fold that up under our bodies. First, we're gonna lean back. Only do it so you're feeling a nice stretch, never any pain. All right, now take one hand and open up to that leg that's behind you. Got a good torso stretch out of it. If you want to, you can bring your leg up, bring that quad back into the picture. And this way you're stretching all of your lower body as well as your torso. All right, slowly let that leg back down. Now we're gonna lean forward. So really lean in. You don't have to go down as low as me, but just so you feel a good stretch through the back of the leg that is under your body. All right, now place your hands on the ground. We're gonna take that folded leg up and into a split. So back into the downward dog, and then just as much as you can. It's okay if your muscles are feeling tight, just do what you can. And bend at the knee, and kind of open your hips up a little bit so you're stretching all through the front of your core as well as through the backs of your thighs and your upper body. All right, bring that foot back down. Now take that opposite leg, fold it up under your body. We're gonna try to remember what we did on the other side and repeat it. So we're gonna start here first, lean back just a little bit, as much as you need to feel that stretch, that hip flexor in your core. Take some nice deep breaths here. All right, so just like the other side, we're gonna turn, open to your body here. You can bring that leg up to you if you can. Otherwise, you're fine with just a twist through the torso. All right, slowly lower that leg. Now we're leaning forward again. You can kind of roll through all of this. Always be moving, even just these little micro movements can help you find these places where your muscles are really tight. So as long as you're moving slowly and gently, you can really take away a lot of that muscle tension. All right, now we're gonna walk back up and do the same thing we did on the other side. So you're coming up with a split for that one. First, just a basic split, get a good stretch out of it, and then bend at the knee and roll away from yourself a little. All right, now come back down, tuck just this one knee under your body, leave that other leg out there straight so you're doing a calf stretch. Kind of move how you need to feel a good stretch through that calf. You can put further up if you need to, if you're really flexible and need to put a little extra pressure on it. All right, go ahead and switch sides. So you're trying to pull that heel down to the ground. You probably won't be able to from here, but if you're just pretending like you're trying to, you should feel a good stretch to that calf. All right, so now we're gonna come lay down on our backs and do a deep glute stretch. So you're taking this leg over the other and then grab this other leg behind the thigh and pull it in gently towards yourself until you feel a stretch in the leg that is folded. So you should feel it through your glutes as well as through the back of the thigh that is bent over the other. All right, go ahead and switch sides. Pull that leg in there. Kind of rock back and forth a little bit. Feel the stretch where you really need to. All right, do just a couple more here. You need to tuck one leg in, kick the other out. You're gonna lean down as much as you can. Pull your toe back up towards yourself so you can get an extra stretch through those legs. So no matter where your starting point is with flexibility, the important thing is that you're just moving slowly and kind of understandably with your body. So you're not forcing it into anything. That's never gonna help with flexibility. Just kind of have to ease into all of it. All right, now staying low, you're gonna slowly walk over to that other side. So just take your time, stay where you need to feel a stretch. And now you're kind of leaning away from this leg that's kicked out. All right, come back up. Now we're gonna do the opposite. So stretch out the other leg, tuck in the opposite leg, and then lean out into that toe, pulling it back up towards yourself. So you should feel this through your calves, the backs of your thighs, and your torso and your back. All right, now slowly, again, staying in that stretch, move slowly over to that other leg and camp out here for a while. All right, walk yourself back up. And we're gonna press our feet together, pull your feet in nice and tall, or nice and close together, as close to your body as you can, and then sit up nice and tall. So you're kind of pressing your chest out, stretch out your spine, you can rock your head back and forth a little. All right, now let them out a little bit, push your feet out just enough so you can lean forward and get a good hip stretch through here. All right, take a good deep breath. Exhale and slowly sit back up, and we are all done. So make sure that you drink lots of water after this, eat a good healthy meal. Otherwise, good job guys, this workout is complete.